the 2017 Thanksgiving Draft. DA with the number 1 pick in the draft. Takes, of course, turkey. Turkey's off the board at number 1. That makes Pete the Body Bilotti on the board. The Body, what are you going with?
I'm going with a household staple of mine, ham.
Ham off the board.
Interesting. Didn't think this would still be here at number 3. I'm going to go with TV because everything tastes better watching football. TV, most important. Let's do this.
So a new addition, TV, to this year's draft goes number 3. Is that too early, Mraz?
No, he swiped right in front of me. It was about to fall into my lap.
Interesting. Okay, so Mraz, now you'll have 4 and 5 here.
My number 4, I'm going to go with the iPad.
Okay.
Got to watch football at some point here. Number 5, oh, man, I am going to go Lazy Boy.
Ooh, wow. iPad Lazy Boy, you have not drafted a food yet.
You know what? I got to relax. I just have to relax.
Wow, Mraz, 2 picks, 2 household items. That brings us back to Andrew Bogus. Bogus, who are you drafting?
On my way out the door, I'm going to go with my first food item, mashed potatoes, DA. Mashed potatoes.
Very solid pick right there. Very solid. The Body Bilotti, where are you going here?
I'm going to go with turducken. I'm going all meats.
Turducken, okay. All right, so you took ham and turducken.
That's right.
A very meaty Thanksgiving for the Body Bilotti. All right, at this point in time, I'm going to go stuffing. So I've got turkey and stuffing for the first 2 rounds. Now it comes back to me at number 3. Give me the couch here. Give me the couch. I'm going to take stuffing, turkey, and the couch.
What are you doing? That's a solid roster, though.
I did have the number 1 pick, so inherent advantage here. That brings us back to Body, the Bilotti. What do you got here?
I'm going to go with lasagna.
Lasagna, okay.
Italian specialty.
All right, a lasagna. We're doing 5 rounds here, guys?
Yes, 5 rounds.
5 rounds. Okay, so that brings us to Andrew Bogus.
And I got Andrew Bogus. He will go with the macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese off the board. Okay.
Wow.
That takes us to Mraz now. He's got the bottom of this round at the top of the next round, so back-to-back picks here. What are you doing? You've got no food right now on your roster.
No, I guess I have no choice but to work backward here. And I'm going to go with a pudding pie on my next pick.
You have no real food.
Things have fallen away from me here. And I'll follow it up with cannolis with my next pick.
Why didn't you take some meat?
Because all the meats are gone here.
No, turducken's still there, right?
No, but the Body took it.
Strategy.
Swedish meatballs. You missed Swedish meatballs.
I'd rather go with the sweets at that point. I got my items. Things fell apart in me in this draft.
Shrimp platter?
I mean, that is cold.
All right, back to Bogus. What's Bogus taking?
Oh, I've got a drafting for Bogus. Bogus says apple pie.
Apple pie. Okay. Back to the Body Bilotti.
I'm going the meats again. Swedish meatballs.
Swedish meatballs. So you're all meat here. All meat all the time.
Pasta.
All meat all the time. Okay. And so is this now the last pick? Is this my pick is the last pick?
No. Now you're going to pick your 4th, and then you're going to have your last pick. Back to back here.
Okay. All right. Give me the cranberry sauce.
You can have it. Most overrated Thanksgiving item on the planet.
Wrong! And a pumpkin pie to wrap up. Boy, I don't know how you defeat my team. All right, to the Body Bilotti. This is your final pick.
Go with some Italian cannolis. Hey.
Some cannoli.
Only he can't because I already picked the cannolis.
Oh, wow.
Pudding pie.
Pudding pie.
Only he can't because I already picked the pudding pie.
Wow.
Peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
That's a sign of defeat for that young man.
What happens in the NFL draft when you select a player that's already been selected?
I think you lose your card and somebody laps you.
All right, to Andrew Bogus, what's his stand-in say?
He will take the shrimp.
Shrimp platter, okay. So far on the board still is radio, which is an unfortunate turn of events for us here, ironically. Fruitcake, vegetable medley, pecan pie, sweet potato, string bean casserole, corn, broccoli casserole, cornbread, and antipasta.
So I got the last 2 picks here, right? I will go with the Annie Pasta because at least I'll get some meat and cheeses out of that. And I think that's a good starter to any Thanksgiving. I can enjoy my lazy boy.
I don't think you get 2 picks here. I think it's just 1, right? This wraps up round 5.
What do I have?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm taking the Annie Pasta.
Okay.
I got a TV, a lazy boy, an Annie Pasta, and 2 desserts. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
And that is your second annual Thanksgiving Day draft. We just wrapped up our second annual DA Show Thanksgiving Draft. Now we have Big Red, Dennis Jones, who's a self-proclaimed slob, joining us here inside the studios, and he's here to break things down as a Thanksgiving analyst. Big Red, how are you, my friend?
DA, great to see you. Long time no see. How you been?
I've been good. So you're looking over the rosters
I was
here.
taking notes towards the end of Anthony, as Anthony was wrapping up.
Okay, and so what are you seeing here with the rosters that were drafted?
Right off the bat, I got a problem with Pete.
Okay,
Now, very similar to Mraz. I'm a large man.
sure.
Mraz has a lazy boy. You have a couch.
Yeah.
Bogish. Oh, I got a problem with Bogish, too. Where am I sitting?
Right?
Where am I sitting? I'm not standing up eating your ham, turducken, lasagna, Swedish meatball, peach cobbler. It's just not. This isn't the buffet line, which I would enjoy at a Thanksgiving dinner. But this isn't, I'm not at a soup kitchen.
Well,
No,
but-
thank you. I need seats.
I'm going with the Marco Belletti approach and just lay on the floor afterwards.
Well, if you had explained that in detail, I would have gave you some points there. But there's no seating.
Okay, so that's
So
a problem
Bogish
for
lose
you.
points there as well.
Okay.
I have a problem with Mraz.
Uh-huh.
Cannoli and antipasta. Like when Christmas rolls around, 7 fishes.
Fine.
Roll those out there.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving. Stick with the traditions.
That's right.
Okay, I'm an Italian.
And you're only like a quarter or something.
It
like
counts.
that. Note that also he's got no meat in there.
I
He's
was
gonna-
getting to that.
Okay.
No meats. He went with Lazy Boy, which is very smart, and then an iPad. Like, get a television.
Well,
Well,
no, there was only one TV allowed to be
Yeah.
drafted. Bogus took it.
oh.
That was my second option to watch football.
Yeah. so-
Taken.
Yeah, TV was off the board.
It was tooken. I will give Bellotti credit. The turducken is a nice touch.
It is. Okay.
That's very John Madden-esque.
Yeah.
Now with the turducken, you got to do the sound effects with the boom and all that.
That's a good boom.
A fat man knows a fat boom.
I'm going to hire you to do that.
If I'm being truthful,
Yeah.
the list really comes down to you and Bogish.
Okay.
Mraz not having any traditional The pudding pie interests me, but a dessert. You don't come to Thanksgiving for dessert.
That's right.
You can do desserts.
He's trying to load up on antipasta,
Yeah,
Genoa
terrible
salami.
decision.
I don't want Thanksgiving to
Terrible.
be centered around my Genoa salami.
Cannoli. Come on. You're better. You did 2 desserts.
Yeah, Mraz.
And antipasta.
You want to move on to those 2 idiots to get off me?
Okay, and so now between me and Bogish, what do you like here? I find it hard to believe that you could go against my draft.
Yeah. See, I can't. Mraz asked me. He said, "Look, we need a big guy's opinion." I said, "I'd love to help."
Yeah.
I don't want to kiss up just because you're the host.
You don't have to.
I'm trying to be impartial here.
Sure.
Turkey, old reliable.
Yeah.
Big check for you.
Sure.
Stuffing, old reliable. Boom.
Had to do it.
The couch, 3 for 3 so far.
Big.
Now here's where I got issues.
Okay.
I'm not huge on cranberry sauce. I understand it's tradition.
Uh-huh.
You're rolling it out there. It's like having Aretha Franklin sing the national anthem. It needs to be done. It's not my cup of tea. I go more saxophone, Bill Clinton. But I respect cranberry sauce. I very much respect it. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you
partial credit.
Very
All right.
partial credit.
Yeah.
Again, pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Staple to
I
Thanksgiving.
went traditional.
And I respect that because stick to what you know. Thanksgiving's been around
That's
since
right.
the Pilgrims and Indians, as far as I
since
as I know.
Columbus for Mraz. Yeah.
So I feel like all these things they would have had at the first Thanksgiving.
Bogish or me, because now we're getting a little long-winded here.
Yes, we are. I got to go with Bogish.
Wow.
Upset Central.
Wow, is that right? What was the tipping point? Because I got to get to break here.
Mashed potatoes. You come to Thanksgiving for mashed potatoes.
Okay, so
period.
mashed potatoes tips the scales. Big Red, our Daniel Jeremiah, Todd McShay, Mike Mayock of the Thanksgiving draft. All right, so cue the music here, boys. Let's go over this Thanksgiving Day draft that we just consummated. This was year 2. Now, I find it very hard to imagine you're going to top my draft. I went strictly tradition here. And with the number 1 pick overall, you got to go turkey. I went turkey, stuffing. Then my third pick, the couch, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie. If I was evaluating this draft, I'd say this is an A. It can't be an A+, though, because I've got no device to listen or watch the game on. I probably should have said no to either the cranberry sauce or the pumpkin pie and went radio, because radio is still on the board. It went undrafted. At least I could listen. And being in radio, I really should have. But I think overall, this is the best draft of the bunch. Is there any weaknesses outside of not having a place to watch the game on?
I'll say it's balanced, but again, you took probably the 2 most overrated Thanksgiving items in cranberry sauce, which nobody likes except the people over 60 years old these days.
I like it.
And B, pumpkin pie is so just not delicious compared to, the 5 other pies that will be on the table, but you feel you have to have it. It's like the Yankees wearing pinstripes. We get it. It's tradition. But it's really not that good.
I disagree on cranberry sauce. I tend to agree on pumpkin pie. I don't love it, but apple pie was off the board. Pudding pie was off the board. Maybe I could have gone pecan pie. That went undrafted. Had I gone pecan pie, a stronger draft there?
Yeah, I agree. But then again, Victor Cruz went undrafted, so maybe you slide and get the pecan pie while none of us are looking.
I would say the most questionable draft was yours, Merez. You went lazy boy number 1. Couch was available to me in the 3rd round. You went lazy boy 1. Okay, a place to watch, fine. Number 2, you went iPad. TV was off the board. You could watch the game.
Yes.
But that left you with no meats left. And so your 3rd pick was pudding pie. So now you're building your entire Thanksgiving around dessert and a place to watch the game.
Yeah. Listen, if I could have it back, there were some choices like the remake, but in my mindset there, it was very simple. I saw Andrew Bogus in the 3rd pick overall take a TV. I felt the pressure there. For me, I don't care. You can return your turkey, stuffing, all of that. If I don't have a place to watch football, I might as well not be celebrating.
But there's no meat here. So you went cannoli and antipasta to round out. So
yeah, but I also didn't think Bilotti would go ham and turducken.
Well, look.
I thought there was a chance in the 3rd round I'd get a turducken thrown back my way. There wasn't. So then I had to make a choice. Do I reach for a side like sweet potatoes, which didn't go drafted, or do I go to strengthen the desserts? And in my opinion, I got the 2 best desserts on the board.
You could have went Swedish meatballs. It was still there for you.
Okay, but I like an antipasto more than a Swedish meatball on my appetizer.
Okay, well, I just know that if I'm going over to your house tomorrow, I will have the TV. I will have the game on an iPad. All right, fine. I'm going to have one lazy boy, so you're going to be on it. And then the meal will consist of Genoa salami, some pepperoni, maybe a little like figs or olives, and then pudding pie and cannoli. I mean, that's my meal?
It's basically a Catwoman's Thanksgiving.
Sounds like you burnt the turkey.
That's a Thanksgiving you celebrate with a hot plate in a studio apartment.
All right, so now it brings us to the most aggressive draft, and that was the Body Bilotti's. Very aggressive. He went ham number 1, turducken number 2. I did not see turducken going in the 2nd round. Bilotti also went lasagna. Again, that's a real, you could build a Thanksgiving dinner around lasagna. Had you had the lasagna, I could give you more leniency. He went ham, turducken, lasagna, Swedish meatballs. Again, we've got meat in all of these because I'm guessing that there's going to be some ground beef inside the lasagna.
Of course, yeah.
It's not a vegetarian lasagna. And then a peach cobbler. So Bilotti's got nowhere to sit. We're not watching the game, have no idea what's going on in the games. But I'm getting a lot of meat and then wrapping it up with peach cobbler.
You walk out of there with the sweats.
A whole lot of talking to everybody.
Yeah. And then that brings us to Andrew Bogus, who I don't really know where he was going. This was a directionless draft. He went TV number 1. All right, we all like watching the games. I don't know if it would be my number 1 pick. It's tough to go to a house where there's no TV on, but all right. He went mashed potatoes 2. Hard to argue that'd be my number 1 side, either that or stuffing. Then he goes mac and cheese, which I feel is redundant there because you already have the mashed potatoes. Do you need the mac and cheese as well?
Yeah, I mean, you could always use it. You can remember where he didn't have a meat there at that point.
Agreed. So he's got no meat, which is why I think it was a mistake to go mac and cheese. He then wraps up with apple pie. Okay, good. But then he's now meatless. So he has to, in the final round, go shrimp. This to me is a whole ridden draft. I mean, this is like looking for your franchise quarterback in the 6th round. I mean, shrimp as your meat to build around?
Here's what I'll say. The shrimp could turn into Case Keenum here. The Vikings are hot. They could get a 1 seed. Shrimp is Case Keenum. He's got a good rest of the team.
Apple pie, but mashed potatoes.
Because shrimp struggled to be a number 1 its whole life there. It's just thrown off to the side. Suddenly it emerges with the proper ingredients behind it, like a TV, a mashed potato, and an apple pie. Next thing you know, you're going, do we really believe in them? Oh, my, they're in the NFC Championship game.
But can you build a meal? Like if we go over to Bogish's house tomorrow.
But he's building the day around the TV. He's not building the meal around the shrimp.
Okay, we can watch the game, great. And now we're going to have to load up on mashed potatoes and mac and cheese because the only meat we got is the shrimp platter.
If you're a vegetarian, you're in.
Well, in my defense, shrimp was an auto pick, and Pete had taken every single entree beforehand, which is an unforeseen circumstance. That would not have been my selection. I like my first 4 picks. I think TV, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and apple pie is the way to go. I would have, had I been here, I would have factored in some kind of protein earlier in this debate. So I take only half the heat for this.
Come on, Thanksgiving is the only time where you can eat ham, turducken, and Swedish meatballs all together. You have to take advantage of that.
Very reminiscent of last year, Jay Berman taking all desserts. He went a full dessert. So here is what's also interesting. 4 guys working in radio on a radio network on a radio station did not select radio.
Well, it's 2017, DA. Back to you.
So we should have had a web stream or an app on there.
Yeah.
Number 2. Nobody took vegetables. There were no greens taken.
Good call, guys.
Vegetable medley, string bean casserole, broccoli casserole, and corn all went undrafted. Also, cornbread went undrafted, which I think is a mistake. Somebody should have taken cornbread. That's an excellent Thanksgiving meal.
I agree.
And then also, no pecan pie taken. That's a mistake. Fruitcake left out there. Understandably so. Fruitcake was last year's Mr. Irrelevant. I think it would have been Mr. Irrelevant again this year.
Who is serving fruitcake?
What gets drafted first, fruitcake or radio?
I was going to say, the people choosing radio followed up with fruitcake.
And finally, nobody took sweet potatoes, which I think is also, somebody should have taken a sweet potato in.
It's a very big side from the 80s and 90s that I think is being phased out by millennials. People like the sweet potatoes fried. They don't like them out there in the big bowl anymore.
Millennials are phasing them out.
They're phasing out sweet potato. They'll have a sweet potato fry because it's trendy, but sweet potatoes? No. They're out.
Fried sweet potatoes?
Well, like sweet potato fries.
Oh, fries.
I'm saying, like, that's the way people eat sweet potatoes now. That big glump usually sits there now.
There will be yams with marshmallows on top in my house tomorrow.
There should be.
Yes.